Okay, let's have a kind of a tour of the battleground. I'm here at respawn number 2, one of the safety zones, where if a person gets up and come down and be pretty well protected from any of the battles going on and so forth. It's nice to see one of our signs is still up. Paintball zone. What I'm kind of looking over is what we call the blue zone. It's not as dense as the wilderness, but it's a pretty fun place to play. Half open, half cover, a lot of pines. Alright, I am now on the path towards the base. That out there, with all that dense cover and so forth, is what we call the wilderness. Very thick, very heavy. That's where a lot of close quarter combat will happen. Now you can kind of see a little bit of the base. I'll give it kind of a tour here a little bit. As you can see, we've already played one game here. A couple of the bunkers are heavily coated with paintball. Kind of our sitting area. A couple of signs blowing down. Gonna have to make sure to put those back up. Warning, paintball ahead. Here's one of our bunkers. Looks like the weather did a little bit of damage. Gonna have to make some minor repairs. Shorter players like this particular bunker better. And you can tell it's not much for height, but most of the time you're crouching down anyways. The wall what you're kind of looking at is our target range, where people can sight their guns in after they get their CO2 hooked up and so forth. Now if you look carefully in the tree directly in front, you can see a base cam. That base cam records everything that happens on the wall and on the inside of this base here. This is one of our towers. This here is part of the safety house. We have a hunting blind that pops up and sets in front of here where people can go to safely take off their mask, clean it, take a breather, whatever you want to do and so forth. This tunnel would lead to that. This is what we call the closet. This is where all the extra equipment is stored. Pretty much safe from most paintball splatters. This is bunker 2. And as you can see, I lined the inside of this with a material to prevent people from looking through the screen and shooting above them. This way they have to stick their heads up to see where they're shooting at. And little bit by little bit, all of the greenery is starting to come back in. When we had our first game of the season, you can see quite a ways away. This is one of our second towers. Which many other players like to play in. And again, align the inside of this here to prevent people from looking through the screen and shooting over the top. And you can kind of see the layout of the base. It's fairly simple. And the battleground, different piles of brush, types of bunker systems that they can hide behind. Yeah, it's sure nice to see the leaves coming in. It'll make it a little bit easier for the attackers to get a little bit closer to the base without being seen 100 to 150 feet away. Now this is the fence line that some of the players like to use. They said out there is what we call the wilderness. And kind of walking over towards respawn number 3. This is one of the safety respawns for the attackers where they can come back. With the logs up there, that will help protect them from any stray paintball fire and so forth. And they can take their masks off and be reasonably safe and clean it and so forth in this area. I'm walking down a dry creek bed what we nicknamed Death Valley. This particular guy's nickname when first season we were playing here, my squad and I were walking down this valley and we got ambushed down there in the respawn area. No place to go, got wiped out real fast. Which is fine, because we returned the favor the next game anyways. There's the old bridge. Number one rule so forth, besides safety, of course. You stay off of the old bridge, and you don't shoot the old bridge. You just leave it alone. And we are basically at respawn number 1. Heavy thick trees and so forth protects anybody that comes back here to clean their mask, refill their ammo, so forth. The paths basically form out a triangle around the base. Oh, that's a thrush, not a robin. Okay. We cut and reopen these paths, make it easier walking, doing the same way out there. Oh, get through here. Now we're at the back side of what we call the wall. You see, I'll paint. There's a large battle here. Tower, tower, bunker, bunker. We play a lot of CTF. There's the camera, the base camera. That records everything that goes on inside the base. And there's about 4 of us that have these glasses that record during the battles. That's somebody's foot. Yeah. Somebody was out here messing around. We play CTF, which is capture the flag. One of the flags is located here. No. That pretty much gives you a pretty good idea of the battleground we play on. Not extremely large, but once all these leaves and everything come in all the way, visibility is 30 feet at best. Once all this undergrowth and everything fills in. And there is the conclusion of our paintball field.